So I got this limited edition Chris Redfield figure from Resident Evil. Take a look at the awesome detail on his face. It looks so good. Hey everybody, hope that you're doing well. I recently had a friend ask me how I export my videos out of Premiere Pro, so let's go ahead and take a look so your videos don't look like Chris Redfield's face. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this export here. First, what we're going to do is open up Premiere Pro. I'm actually running Premiere Pro CC. This is the latest version. My friend said that he's running CS6, but the export settings should be pretty similar. We're just going to go ahead and open up a project here. Now, I already have a cut made here, just so I don't have to spend time on doing something. I spent some time recently in Portland. My friend's cat was doing a reenactment of Game of Thrones. It was a really strange thing that he was doing, but let's go ahead and take a look and see what he was doing there. You know nothing, Jon Snow. I may know nothing, but I know something. Yeah, so like I said, my friend's cat was doing a reenactment of Game of Thrones. He thought it would be kind of cool, so we kind of just sat there and watched him. But let's go ahead and export this video. So, what we actually need to do here is I'm going to go to the beginning of my clip here and hit the end point. Now, you can do it at the beginning of the clip. I personally like to go back 5 frames and set my endpoint there. That way just nothing gets cut off and the video, 5 frames is still 5 frames, but it's not that noticeable. Now you can set your out point to the end of the clip. If you're going to upload to YouTube though, you might want to add 20 seconds. They have this feature called end screen where you can have clickable options and stuff like that. I have some information here that we can take a look at actually. So this is on support.google.com. Now you can look up add end screens to videos, and what that is it just gives you kind of like some basic information on how to add those end screens. They do say under their best practices to have maybe the last 20 seconds of it for your end screen there. So I'm not actually going to do that with this clip, but I'm going to set my out point to the end of the clip here. Alright, cool. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and export this. So you can actually hit Control M, Command M, depending on what operating system you're running. Or you can actually go up to File and go to Export Media. What that's going to do is it's going to pull up the export settings for us. Now here's your preview monitor, so you can just make sure that you got everything here. You can also change the in points and out points if you wanted to. Now if you're exporting to YouTube like my friend's going to do, there are some basic settings that you would want to set it to. It does need to be H.264. I do have another article here that you can look up. So on this site you have your recommended upload encoding settings. They do prefer an MP4, AAC, H.264 for the video codec. And then under here is the bit rate. It gives you a basic breakdown of what bit rates you should have. I'm only doing 1080p. So they say 8 megabits per second, 12 for these frame rates. I actually like to go a little bit higher, but you can take a look at this if you need more information here. So one cool thing about exporting settings is that you do have these presets. I'm not sure if they're in CS6, so you might want to take a look. But if you click on this, we can go down to the bottom of the list. There is some for YouTube. I like to just choose the 1080p. It does set everything for you since I'm going to be uploading to YouTube. It does set it to 16 megabits per second, which is kind of cool. If you don't have that preset setting, just remember that number or go back to the support site and it should tell you. Just make sure your format's set to H.264. Here's your output name. This will bring up where you're going to save this clip. You want to export video and audio if you have audio there. Down here is actually these different tabs. You have your video, audio, AAC right here for the audio format. But let's take a look at video here. You can actually set the frame size here and the aspect ratio from square pixels if you need to. Down here you have your bitrate settings, and like I said, 16 megabits per second is pretty awesome for uploading. I've never seen it look terrible. So let's go ahead and take a look at one other tab here. I think this is new with Premiere Pro CC, but you have different ways that you can upload to different things like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Adobe stock, and all kinds of stuff. If you were to upload to YouTube, I'm already signed in here. You can set things as unlisted. You can add your tags and your description. One thing I was told is that if you do upload through here, on YouTube's end it doesn't have to re-encode. But if you were to upload just a file, it does have to re-encode that file again, and then it will be uploaded. But this, I was told, is much faster. I personally leave it unlisted just so I can always go back to it and make any changes before I make it public. But let's go ahead and export this. So we're going to just go ahead here and hit export. If you hit Q, it adds it to a queue of different videos that you can export. It does go through Media Encoder, but since this is one clip, let's just go ahead and hit export. And like I said, here's all my settings here. But let's go ahead and hit export. It should go pretty fast, I think. Yeah, so that's it for exporting videos out of Premiere Pro. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. Like I said, it was a pretty strange time there in Portland, but we kind of got through it. I was only there for a week, so... Anyways, thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you come back soon.